Hi, so in this video we'll look at how you can use the Twitter API version 2. This was a new API which was launched by Twitter in August 2020. Okay, so these are the steps that we will follow. First, we will sign up for a developer account. So if you already have an account, you can skip this step, developer account. Then we will open the Twitter API collection in Postman. So Postman is a tool for testing API. So Twitter gives this very nice feature where you can import the whole Twitter API collection in Postman. Then we will add credentials of the API in your Postman environment. So in Postman you can create environments where you can add all the credentials. Then we'll test some endpoints to see how the API is working, right? What are the different endpoints that Twitter provides. So endpoints are the different type of API URLs which gives different data. So when we'll look, then you'll understand better. There are certain limits for this API for the free version where 5 lakh tweets per month are available and 900 API requests in 15 minutes. This is a rate limit, and use cases are many. I'll not going into the use cases. Use cases means how for what you can use this API, right? So Twitter has a lot of data, a lot of people are using, so you can find the different trends which are going right now. You can find sentiment about a particular thing, right? Any uh, topic, right? You can make a Twitter search engine if people are trying to search something, and there are multiple use cases. People have built bots which retweet any keywords or any account they retweet. So there are different use cases which depend on what you want to do, and the docs are available here. So I'll put all this in the description. So let's get started with our first step, which is signing up for the Twitter developer account. Okay, so once you will click here on this, when you go on this URL, you will find this page, and if you're logged in, you will see the logged in icon of your account, right? Then you apply for developer account, right? You can choose professional, hobbyist, academic. So you choose hobbyist and exploring the API. Now you will need to add a phone number to this account if you want to use a developer account. So I will add a phone number. Now you don't see this. You can add a name that you want to give Twitter to call you. The country, I will choose India, and the skill level also you can choose as per your experience. Next, you will have to answer in your word for what purpose you are trying to use this API, right? So depends totally on you. What is your purpose of using this API? And then there are certain questions, right? So since this is a demo, I will just keep the access to the minimum. I don't want to analyze much data. I just want to fetch some data, right? I don't want to retweet or like or follow. A lot of functionality actually you can do. So it's a get API also where you can get data and you can post data as well. Okay, and then this you can enter. So I'll enter something, right? You have to enter whatever purpose you have. Once done, then you can do next, and this just show, they will just show you the final sort of details, and you will have to agree to the agreement, right, and submit your application. They will send you an email to your account, so that you will have to uh, verify. Okay, so now you got the access, right? So you got the access, great. uh, Now you have to create a project. You can just say learning Twitter API and some use case, exploring the API, just right, and just exploring, and app name, you can give, right, anything. Okay, great. So there are certain keys etc that you will find. These are the keys, the credential that will be used to access this API. So you should keep a note of them because they will not be shown again, right? So I'm for now just putting them here only. So I will say API key, then API key secret key, right? You can copy from here. Then there is bearer token, bearer token. That also I will keep it here. So this key, API secret, and all these are credentials. So these are security credential. You should not show it to anyone. I am just showing in this demo because I will delete this after sort of this demo. Okay, right. So we got our Twitter API. This is our project. This is our API. Okay. Now we'll open the Postman collection. For that, I will go here. Right. After certain small tinkering, I was able to find this. To the whole document Postman collection, right? Actually in this, whenever you go in this document only, the API docs, there only you will find this link to the APIs, right? If you open Twitter APIs, there only you will find this link to the Postman collection. But Postman gives the easiest way to test this, right? Right. So yeah, so from here, if you click on this add Twitter API to Postman, then this will open, and when you say run in Postman, okay, then whatever. So I have for Mac, you can choose whatever you have, but better it is to download this Postman app. If you have Windows, you can download. For Mac also you can download, right? So you choose application, and I'll choose Postman to open this, right? Great. So you got this Twitter collection here. So they have already categorized all the different kind of functionality that this API provides here, right? You don't have to do too much. So for single tweet, right, we can just use the ID of the tweet to get the details. So we'll just check one example. So this is my Twitter account. So any tweet ID can be checked very simply by going on the page, and from the URL you can check. So this is the ID of the tweet, and if you add the ID here in the URL, right, and then in the authorization you will have to add the bearer token. Remember, we got the bearer token from the API credentials, right? So I will add this, okay, and send. Great. So you got the details. Looking at unemployment data, right? This was the tweet as well. There are other parameters only. Right now we got the ID and the text. You can also get author, right, who has written it, what are the attachments, uh, different parameters, right? Metrics, how many people have seen this, right? Reply settings and source, different other uh, entities you can create it. And so I will just do, you have to do tweet dot fields and give some field names. Maybe I will just do author ID, who is the author, and create it at when was it created. So these are the query params you are passing. Got it. So you got the author ID and you got the ID of the tweet and created ad. Sorry, these two were coming earlier. but this you added. And similarly there are other query parameters as well. uh, you can add for the user who created it different fields. You can add for the place object, media, and expansions, right? This I am not sure what expansions and uh, this place etc mean. Okay, then multiple tweets also. So it's not that you just need one sort of id, you can have multiple ids as well, right? Say this was our one id, this is the second id. So what we can do is this comma, and we'll go, this is another tweet, right? One thing we said is the uh, environment, right? So we'll create an environment. So we'll create another environment, Twitter environment. Okay, here we can add all the different credentials we have, so that for every request we don't have to add, right? So I added here. Okay, so this was old, I will delete it, right? So I will choose the Twitter environment and try to fetch multiple tweets. So I got this, right? If I had not chosen this environment, then I get unauthorized, right? Because there is no bearer token in the request. See, I have not mentioned here, right? But from the environment, it is taken the bearer token, and I am getting the result, right? And this is user context for that user. Uh, what are the tweet? Okay. Then user lookup, user by ID. Remember we got the user ID back here, right? The author ID. So for that user ID, if we want all the details, so we can simply do this. I'm just pasting the user ID, which was the author ID of the last, right? We get a lot of details, the name of the user, username, ID, and also if you want more fields like the image, it's protected, public matrix, like if it's how many users follow that person, right? Then you get more data. So you get total tweet is 22,000 and list is this much and followers are this much, right? So you get a lot of details, and for different tweets also you can get. So query params have help us get more details, right? And similar by username also you can get. So we'll just put for learn21 only. Right, so no, so this is someone else. So it's 21 underscore learn. Okay, right, so we get this, and more details if you want, we can always mention here user dot details, user dot fields. You can say description, created at, right, location, right? So we get more details of this user, right? And similar username is for more than one user, and so on. Followers, you can get followers of a user ID, right? If I'll just put ID of learn21 only, so I'll get all the followers. So this is the ID, right? And if I want to get the ID of this, right, followers of this user, I can get by this. So these are the total followers, and user is following ID, right? So this is, so all the accounts this account is following, I get that as well, right? With 60. One thing I will like to show, right? So say this is towards data science, follows around 1700 accounts. So for this, if I want to see, right, So here there are 100 results only, but this account follows 1700. So you get a next token. So if you pass that as query parameter, you have to say pagination token. So to pass this, and then it will give the next 10 results. So it's paginated, the results are paginated, right? And if you pass this, then you get the next page. So paginated means you divide the whole results into different pages. Remember, we get in Google also, in the bottom we get 1 2 3 4 5 6, that pages are there, right? Similarly here we get different pages, and each page then you can call after passing the query param. Okay, so this is follows. Similar, there are other, you can find a block lookup, so which id, this id is blocking. You can block an id as well, but we'll not be able to do this because we got only read access, right? And unblock an id. Likes, you can find all the like tweets of user id, right? So I'll just put the user id here, not this. So say all the different tweets which are liked by 1121. So there's a lot of different. Okay, so only three tweets have liked. Okay, and liking users, right? Unlike your tweet. Timelines, this is also very nice, the whole timeline of a user, right? So I'll just again pass the id of, and you can find all the tweets of this user. So this is again 10, right? There are multiple tweets, but you get a next token. So again the results are paginated, but one thing you can do is use this max results param, which gives you to get results for 100 API calls, because you don't want to wait for sort of, you have to then make different calls if you only get 10 results, right? So you can pass this as 100 and you will get all the tweets, like 100 tweets in here, but and 37, so total were 37 only, so you don't get a next page token, right? So this is the timeline. Then hide, you can hide a reply, you can unhide a reply. This is more for people who get lot of replies, right? Search tweets, you can search a query, say I put anything postman only, right? So I get all the different sort of for this key, what are the different tweets which has happened, right? So this can help you for a particular topic, what is happening, what is being posted on Twitter, to see that, right? Again I get a next token. I only got 10, but then I can move forward. So this is a recent search, and this is the full archive search. So recent search I think is last 2 weeks, and this is the whole sort of, I'll put postman again, right? So different search. Okay, so to do this I think the access we have is not uh, sort of okay, so we'll have to increase the access, so we'll not use this. Another one is tweet count, so we can count for a different tweet, say anything MacBook. So it gives us how many tweets are between any end date and start, like end and start. So like last 5 minutes, how many tweets have come uh, in 5 minutes between this date, right? And different sort of date. So this will give you sort of trend if this topic is how much popular, and you can mention your own start time and end time as well. Okay, and then last is the streams. You can add certain rules, say for a particular topic you want to get certain data, so you can add those rules for particular stream, and then you can fetch that stream as well. Okay, I don't have an example for this, right? Maybe in the next video, if you want, I can give an example of the filtered stream. So yeah, this is it, right? We saw how we can sign up. We saw the Postman collection of Twitter in Postman. Then we got credentials. We tested some endpoints. We know the limits, and then whatever is your use case for Twitter API, you can use it. So yeah, this is it. Please check out this API. Try to use it yourself. See how it works. Any question if are there, please let me know, and please subscribe for such videos in future. Thanks.